What's good, my guys? It's Glasgow here. And if you don't mind, I'm going to dive right in. Look, here's the deal. Over the last year, I've had a few of my videos do well, but specifically, I had a couple that have done pretty decent for what I say. And I didn't think they would do well, but my monk mode videos have been doing pretty well. And over the course of the last year, I've had a lot of people ask me questions like, what is monk mode? How do you do monk mode? How hard is monk mode? What are the rules of monk mode? And specifically, they're always asking me like, Glass, how do you do monk mode? Well, I'm going to be honest with y'all right now. There is no one size fits all for monk mode. There's a ton of different ways to do it. But in this video, I'm going to cover 3 different ways to do it. And I'm going to give you guys the option of which way you think fits your lifestyle best. Because at the end of the day, man, it's about what's going to work best for you. It's not a one size fits all. But before I do that, I'm trying something new on the channel. Y'all let me know where y'all from in the comments. I need to know where y'all from. Go ahead, rep your city, rep your country. Tell me where y'all from. Okay, now back to it. Now, before I give you guys the different types of monk mode, you need to understand a couple different things. Number one, what your personal goals are for this monk mode. You need to firstly understand that. And then number 2, you need to understand what your level of commitment is to those goals. Let me say that one more time. You need to understand what your level of commitment is to those goals, because that is going to help you determine which type of these monk modes you're going to be doing. Because like I said, guys, for you to achieve great things, for you to do big things in life, it's going to take a big level of commitment, and it's going to take a lot of sacrifice. That's just what it is. That's just how the world works. But anyway, I'm going to hop into these 3 different types of monk mode. Okay, so the first type of monk mode is total isolation. And when I say total isolation, I literally mean total isolation. Like, think of yourself as a monk going to live in a cabin or something and just being away from everybody. This type of monk mode is completely withdrawing from society, and it's cutting out everything like technology and relationships. But let me be clear on 2 things before y'all get crazy and say this. Don't be dumb about the situation. When I say total isolation, I don't mean if your job calls you and says, hey, where you at for work? And you just ignore them because you in total isolation, because you a monk mode. You're a monk mode savage now. No, that's dumb. That's not even smart. And then B, when I say technology, I don't mean completely eliminating technology. I don't mean don't use a laptop and you need to write on a notebook. I mean, no, eliminate technology that is distracting you, technology that is not helping you get towards your goals. Like we're in 2022. What you gonna do without a laptop? Like that don't make no sense. What you gonna do without the internet? I get it. It probably is great from a spiritual perspective, but let's be realistic about this stuff, guys. Don't be dumb. I know y'all ain't dumb, but look, guys, I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I've never really done the total isolation monk mode. I do think with that amount of sacrifice, giving up relationships, giving up technology, I do think with that amount of sacrifice, there can be a lot of success. However, I think it comes at a big cost, and I also don't think it's totally needed. I think it's a little bit overkill, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, but I do think there's some value in having people and relationships in your life. So for me personally, this type of monk mode, it don't work for me, but it may work for you. If you really need big results, maybe this is what you need to do, bro. Just straight up. The next type of monk mode is steady state solitude. This is where you have shorter periods of isolation so that you can eliminate any distractions or anything that is not in alignment with your goals. Think back to the first one where you got to go off in the mountains and you got to be isolated. No, this one's a little different. This one, you got to be a little bit more strategic about your isolation times. You got to be cyclical about it. You're not doing it for 90 days. You're not doing it for 6 months, completely disappearing from the earth in general. You're doing it for maybe a month at a time, maybe 2 weeks at a time. And you're doing it with a purpose. You're doing it with intention. You're doing it so you can get results for that short period of time. It's like short bursts of isolation versus one long haul of you being by yourself. The benefit of this type of monk mode is you still will be able to maintain some relationships. You still will be able to grow those friendships that you hold so near and dear to you. You'll still be able to do all that. But with those certain selection of isolated periods, you're still going to get those benefits of isolation and solitude. Guys, when I say I've gotten some of the best ideas I've ever had in my life when I was by myself, when I was actually just with myself and diving into my own thoughts, I've got some of the best ideas I've ever had. Not to mention, that's when you can hear your voice the best. And I'm not talking about the voice that you hear. I'm not talking about the YouTubers telling you what to do. I'm not talking about your parents telling you how you should live your life or what career you should go down. I'm talking about your own voice. You can hear it when you're isolated, when you're in solitude. And I've got, like I said, I got some of the best ideas, but I've also realized what I actually want to do. It's crazy, guys. I played football for a long time. But it wasn't until I did like a monk mode type thing, I realized that I didn't actually love the sport of football. What I loved about football was that you could improve yourself, and this was in a physical fashion. But that's why I love self-improvement so much, is because you can improve yourself. I would have never figured that out. I would have kept chasing football for the rest of my life had I not done monk mode and had an isolated period where I could think and actually hear my own thoughts. All right, before we go on to the next one, this is another new thing I'm gonna do on the channel. This is the question of the day. Guys, who is your favorite self-improvement, no fap, monk mode, semen retention creator? I want y'all to let me know in the comments because I want to go check them out. I'm looking for new people to watch on YouTube, so y'all let me know right now. Anyway, we're gonna get back into it like brake fluid. Bars. The last type of monk mode is selective monk mode. Now, this is for people who don't want to neglect or abandon all their relationships, or don't want to neglect and abandon or completely abandon their social life. Guys, this is a little different than the first two I named. You don't have to take a vow of silence or do anything like that. But let me warn you, you do need to drastically, and I mean drastically, reduce your social interactions. You ain't got to go to 0, but you need to bring it down. If you was at a 10, you need to bring it to a 5. We need to cut it in half. If you was at a 10, maybe we even need to go to 3. You got to drastically cut that down. Guys, the key with this is you want to be strategic and intentional with who you're building relationships with. Let me explain. It's like this. You need to ask yourself these questions. Is this someone I want to have a relationship with? Does this person add value into my life? Does this person build me up? Is this person someone I can learn from? Will there be any opportunities that this person could present to me in the future? Those are probably some questions you should ask yourself to figure out if this person is somebody who you should be building a relationship with. Guys, you search for monk mode for a reason. It's probably because you're in a shitty spot right now. It's probably because you're in a tough spot, or you just want more from your life. We can't give our energy to everyone that wants it. We can't give our energy to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. We got to give the energy to the people that deserve it, because let's be real. I do believe there's value in people, and I do believe there's value in relationships, especially after I've spent most of this monk mode in isolation, or most of my last year in isolation. I'm now kind of missing the relationships I had. So I do think there's value there. But the key is to be strategic and intentional with it. You got to give your time to the people who deserve it, to the people who are building you up. That's the key to this monk mode. And you'll still be able to complete your goals, but you'll also be able to grow and harness those relationships as well. Now, guys, if you want to learn more about monk mode, or you want to take a deeper dive, I got a playlist for you guys right here that'll show you everything you need to know about monk mode. Check that out.